about this generation, shoot, I'm damn near with a kid.
No, you're not.
What's going on, y'all? Ground and Motivate back in this thing again, man, with another video. And today we got some Kim Sound news. And I heard Telly been saying some stupid stuff, and I've got Angie here to give a woman's perspective on some of the stupid stuff. And of course, you know, I'm gonna weigh in on the stupid stuff. So yeah, let's get to it, man. The name of this video is "Single Mother from Down Under has too many options." Let's go.
What do you think about the concept of having to share a man after you're over 35?
It seems like it's more common nowadays. Like, girls are just okay with it. But from my own perspective, if I was 35 right now, I probably wouldn't want to share a man. And that's just mine.
Okay, you have any kids?
I do.
How many kids?
I have one.
How old?
He's 5.
So, if you were over 35 with a 5-year-old, now you're 10 years old, and you wouldn't want to share a man, why should a man have to share his money with your kid?
That's fair. You know, to say, why would he have to share?
You got something to say?
Yes. How's this logic make sense? Okay, here's my question, right?
Yeah.
You're the man, I'm the over 35-year-old woman, I have a son. And in order for this to be fair for you, I need to share you with another woman who potentially also has a son. So instead of paying for one woman and a kid, you need to pay for 2 women and 2 or more kids. How does that make sense?
Am I the stepdad or am I the drop-off guy?
You're just this one guy that for some reason all women over 35 want or needs to share.
So I'm not really, like, I'm not attached to her in any way. I'm just... No,
we're married, but because I'm over 35.
Oh, so yeah, we're married then, nah. That doesn't make sense.
But right, to him it's like, because I'm over 35, I need to share another...
Yeah, if I'm the drop-off guy, you're not getting any of my money.
What does drop-off guy mean?
I just drop it off. Drop it off.
Oh, then you gotta be 25 to be a drop-off guy.
Why I gotta be 25 to be a drop-off guy?
Because if I'm over 35 and then you're not giving me shit besides sex, then you gotta be young. And, like, you know?
Yeah, but what if I'm like an old drop-off guy like that? Like, I know old guys that still don't have any kids or a wife or a girlfriend, a stable girlfriend. I know plenty.
Then why do I want to be with you? If we're the same age and you're not providing for me.
Because I got monies, muscles.
Oh, you have money?
And I'm looking good.
Okay. Can you take care of my son? He's turning 10.
He don't want to do that because he's busting around the city.
Oh, then you're not providing anything for me. Then why do I want to be with you?
He's providing the bus ride.
That's it?
Yeah.
Then I can get better ones from a 25-year-old. Why do I want to be with a 35-year-old guy?
I guess. Let's get it.
But if he wants me, then he would have to.
No, he don't. See, I'm not trying to be rude, but see, I think it's funny, especially single mothers. Y'all vastly overestimate. Your sexual marketplace value is lower than it was when you started. All single mothers. So let's take this out of personal. Let's say you went to a store and something cost $300. And you only got $200 in your pocket. Would you walk in the store and try to buy that?
No.
All right, but that's what y'all try to do in the marketplace. You're trying to get men who are like $500, and you got $250 worth of buying power. The older you get, do you think you're...
I wonder if Abba and Preacher are gonna weigh in on this, because you know they're kind of cool with Kevin Samuels. They're cordial with Kevin Samuels.
Are they?
Yeah, they had him on the show one time. They had a live stream with him.
Oh, I want to watch that one.
It wasn't really hitting for nothing. Like, I think it was like one of the few times where Kevin Samuels seemed kind of reasonable and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, he was like telling men what they need to do instead of telling women what they need to do.
Okay, so I have a question. You know how he's always attacking single mom?
Yeah.
If there is a single mom out there, doesn't that mean equally there's a single dad out there? Because it takes a dad to produce a kid with a mom.
They don't look at it like that. The dad, because the dad he gets to run off and be a J and continue to spread his trash seed elsewhere.
So he doesn't even recognize his. Okay, so then in that case, the dad has to pay for the child support.
Yeah.
So how does that not lower the man's value in the market if he has to pay for this son that he doesn't even get to see? So it's like an extra, monthly.
I think it absolutely does lower the value of that.
Right. So
but he just not. I think like one thing I have an issue with this whole red pill manosphere thing is they do everything. It's like when you watch one of these Fox News shows or one of these coon guys, like anything like somebody does, like the cop could grape somebody, beat them, shoot them all on camera, but they'll be like, oh, it was the black dude's fault. And it's the same thing here. Like no matter what the man or the lady does, it's always just the lady's fault, period. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they always try to make like men seem like, oh, it's okay, you can go down and do this shit, it's all right, you did all right. It was kind of like how we were talking about the thing with the subway shooter.
Yeah.
Like we were like, it's kind of like confirmation bias. It's like, oh man, it's like I'm just trying to see if it's right, and I want to hear if it's right. And then you get on here and you hear it is, and you're feeling like it's right. Yeah, she's a single mom, she's trash. I'm out here, but I ain't really trash,
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your sexual marketplace buying power increases or decreases?
Obviously, it decreases.
All right, so that means you're going to have to be.
Why you got this third party lady here? The hell? Who is that?
For majority of women, yes.
No, for all women. What makes you special?
It's not me necessarily, but there are women that's 35 years old who
No, but see that. What does that do? What does it have to do with you?
I feel like one thing that Kevin Samuels and all these other dating coaches like to talk about when they talk about sexual market price, that value. Value is like they only think about the very superficial level thing. It's like, oh, you get older, you depreciate. Now you have a kid, you depreciate. But they don't really think about how people kind of grow and evolve as they get older. It's like I feel like
because most men don't care about that, unfortunately.
So when you're looking for a partner, you don't think about the compatibility in terms of
intellectual. But compatibility also has to do with you having a whole another kid. And you talked about it last time. It was just kind of like having a puppy and stuff versus having an already adult dog.
Right.
I've got this random kid who's telling me I'm not his dad. Like he's messing stuff up. I can't beat him because I'm not his dad. And the mom is always like, "Don't you mess with my son?" Stuff like that. And he's acting a fool. So that's just that's a part of compatibility to me.
Okay, so let's say Beyonce, does she have a kid?
Yeah, she does.
So if she somehow becomes a single mom, right? Would you say her market value is lower than like a single lady that's just like,
Definitely not. She gets special privileges.
Why?
Because she's Beyonce.
So why?
It's not because I'm saying she is. It's just that everybody's gonna make a special exception for her.
So what's so special about her that makes her still?
It's just because she's Beyonce. That's literally all it is. She's Beyonce. She doesn't look bad. She has money.
So it's the fame and the status and the money.
Yeah.
So if you think about that, fame, status, and money, I thought those are the things that don't really matter in the dating market for women.
They don't matter. They don't matter. But I think it would still help Beyonce to still be okay. Like. Yeah, some simp will still come through and be like, "Oh yeah, I'll be the I'll do."
I don't think it's simpy. I don't think you wanting to be someone's partner will make you simpy just because that person has a kid. I don't think it makes you simpy at all because at the end of the day, you're in love with this person, and then kids is just like what comes with as a package. Right. And if you don't get along with the kid,
but in that case, it would just be them simping because they're only doing it because of her name. In any other case, they wouldn't do it. In the other case, they wouldn't do it. If it was a regular woman, they would not make that exception as much as they would with Beyonce.
Right. So people who follow Kevin Samuels' logic, saying single moms are shit, and then they want to do it with Beyonce, that makes them simp. But I'm just saying, a lot of guys out there are normal.
Do they want to bust or do they want to date for real?
I don't know, but I'm just saying, a lot of guys out there are normal. They don't think, they would think about, okay, I have to spend the rest of my life with your kid as well. But do I love you to the point where I think I will love your kid as well? Yeah. Again, your son Cham, he.
No. What if also that single mother is telling you, I'm not having any more kids, so you're not having a kid, but you're gonna take care of my kid. but you want kids.
If you want kids and she clearly says she's not gonna give you a kid, then that's a deal breaker.
But you love her. You just said, but you love her.
No, that's the same thing as like, I love you, but you clearly said, hey, Angie, I don't want exclusive relationship. You got to share me with another woman. Mm-hmm. That's a deal breaker for me because that goes against my standard. So again, that's just individual people's preference, individual person's preference. Like, do I want kids? Can she give me kids? She says no. Okay, I'm sorry.
So you don't think that a woman having kids would be against a lot of dudes' personal preference?
If that's the case, then that's maybe the deal breaker thing for them. Okay. But I'm just saying a lot of people don't really care because, again, like right now, the society divorce rate is really high. Mm-hmm. So there's a high chance you're gonna mix and match with someone who already had a family before, and for some reason, either her husband or his wife like died, or like they got divorced, like, and then the kids just like there.
Yeah, you always think of stuff in the best light.
No, especially when we get older, it's like it's not like 25. When you're 20, then most cases you're gonna be with someone who has a clear history. Yeah. When you're like 35, 40, 50, you're still in the market dating. Mm-hmm. There's a higher chance that you're gonna meet someone that's like, you know, has a kid. Yeah. Because to be honest, if you're dating at the age of 40, right? Mm-hmm. Who sounds more like red flag? A single mom or single dad? Or someone that has never been married and never really dated someone for long term at the age of 40. I think the one that's never been married, never dated someone for long term, that's a huge red flag.
You have a point. That actually sounds okay. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people that have absolutely no ties to anyone at 40 are often always kind of offset from what I've experienced in my life. But yeah, let's keep going.
So, that's that wanting to be right.
Well, if I want to talk about me, I feel like if I was 35 years old with a 10-year-old and I carry the way that I carry myself now, I don't think I would depreciate at all.
Oh, so you'd be the first female in history who she wouldn't depreciate as she got older? How's that happen?
For me, it's because when you don't understand, like, having a kid young and doing all those things and you start learning that stuff, basically growing, it's possible for you to still obtain a six-figure man that's making $75,000 a year, and you know who can afford that lifestyle for you.
Okay, a six-figure man is making 100 and some odd thousand, not 75.
100. I'm sorry.
But I'm still okay. But
I don't really agree with her right there.
What?
I think she was saying that yeah, man, you know, you be somebody like me. You had a kid when you was young. You didn't really know all about this and all this kind of stuff. I think that doesn't really matter.
I think if she said it in a different way, it would sound better. It would be more like, say, like I'm 37 or 35 right now, right? I had a history of raising a kid, so I know exactly the best approach to raise a second kid. I'll be really experienced. I know I can handle that. So if we were to have a kid, then I know how to raise the kid, and the kid will have an older brother or sister who can take care of them as well.
I guess.
Comparing to a woman that's also 35 but has never had a kid.
I'm gonna let you have that, woman. I'm gonna let you have that. Let's get it.
Work. So, man, your value goes down whether you like it or not. Whether you think that you'll be more valuable 5 years from now with a 10-year-old, you're still a single mother. And and what does that mean?
Hypothetically,
that means it's not his child. That's all that means. It's not his child. Your child is a liability to another man, not an asset.
Okay, so go back to me. I'm okay with letting the dad have the child for me to start over. I am okay with that. He can live with his father and his father's wife, and they can be a happy family, and I'll get them.
Oh my God. This is the kind of conversation, it's like, it's very real to say it, but imagine the kid hearing this.
Right.
It's like...
Yeah, that's how I'll get your ass out of there, bro.
It's like, I'm a baggage to dad, I'm a baggage to mom. And it's not my fault because you guys brought me to this world and you guys are not together anymore. Now neither of you want me.
This is like her saying, I chose a high-value man over you. You know, I ain't scared to lose you. That's what it's like.
I don't think we should blame it on mom either. It's like, why didn't the dad have him in the first place? Why did the mom take over in the first place?
You do blame this on the mom too. What you mean?
Why didn't the dad take the kid in the first place when they're separated?
I don't know. She probably got custody initially, so she wanted custody.
So probably the dad didn't want the kid in the first place. Dad was like, "Oh, I'm happier with this new woman I got. So yeah, we're gonna start."
It's a mixture of both. It's a
So I don't
mixture of
think
both.
it's fair to blame one party. It's both parties' fault.
It's definitely both parties' fault. We know that for sure. But I mean, I'm just saying in the same breath that she's not sounding good here either. I want the high value man over you. You know I ain't scared to lose you. That don't sound good. I'll give you up to your dad so I can go start a new life.
But then again, imagine if the kid like you have is with someone you really hate because say like he abused you for like 2 years or 3 years or something, and you finally had the courage to break up with him. So every time you see this kid, it reminds you of your abuser, you know?
What's that got to do with me giving up the kid?
So it's like you don't really love the kid.
Okay. It sounds like a bad, mean mom.
Or like this guy raped me and I have this kid. How can I love a raper's kid?
Come on, man. You're thinking of the most offset versions. I'm going to call you Angie Gaines. Yeah, you are Angie Myron Gaines. Let's get it.
Only kids nowadays. That's fine with me. So that another man don't have to raise his child. I would never put my child off on another man.
Okay, but
He has an active father in his life.
listen. While that is something that most women would not do, the fact that you still had a child means your womb has been used. You have risked your life to clone another person. That matters to us as men. So it still lowers your value. I'm still trying to understand why you think your value won't go down, and you haven't made a compelling case.
Again, I've always been fit, but I wasn't friendly, I wasn't cooperative, I wasn't all those things that you say a woman should be, what a man looks for. And so for me, as I get older, I am becoming more fit, friendly.
So yeah, that tells you everything right there. She wasn't fit and friendly,
I
so
was
that lets you
thinking
know.
about Kevin Samuel's point about your womb being used.
Yeah.
In that case, the same goes to like you're not a virgin, right? Your vagina is being used.
That's not what he's saying.
No, that's exactly the same thing. It's like, then we want everything to be brand new. You better never have sex before. You better be a virgin. You better be everything's
He's just saying
new.
your body hasn't been used to the point where you had a whole human come out of it.
Yeah, but what's like to the point? Who defines that? You know, everyone has their
That
own
is the
standard.
point.
No, but like for some other guy, he might be like, oh, then I want someone who's never been used at all. Like no one has ever touched you or kissed you.
Come on, man. We're not talking about no Arabians here. We're talking about just regular men.
No, but he's going that extreme route. Like your womb's being used. We can be like, oh, your dick is being used.
It's not the same thing, man. You know exactly what he means. You know exactly what he means. You had a whole kid with somebody. That's what he means by your womb's been used. I mean, he might have worded it badly. That might not be the right choice of words, but that's what he means. You had a kid. You've had a kid with somebody, so that's like a different kind of attachment. This, and all this extracurriculars that go with that. And I think that's what he's saying.
Okay, so it's more like emotional attachment.
That's part of it. But I feel I don't know. Yeah, I understand what he's saying there, but then also what she said earlier, I think that kind of shows what kind of woman that she was. I think she probably was the one who fought for custody of the kid.
Okay.
Because she's saying she wasn't friendly and all that kind of stuff. So she's probably the reason they broke up, and then she's probably also the person who was like, yeah, I want the kids. You can't send child support. You know?
You don't know that.
She's admitting it, so let's go.
Compromise and understanding and being that piece that a man is looking for.
Right.
So that's
What you're doing though, ma'am, is you're evaluating the market by comparing yourself today to yourself yesterday. Okay? You're comparing yourself to, I'm better than I was, right?
right.
But the market is much bigger than you, man. The market is thousands and thousands of women who some were worse than you, some were far better. A man gets to pick one. And if you had the choice to pick one, you're going to get the best you can, not the one that was better than she was. You're going to get the best.
Well, if you talk about this generation, shoot, I'm damn good. With a kid.
No, you're not. I talk to women every day, man.
What did she say?
She said, you talking about this generation, and I'm down to the best with a kid. So has she really gotten better? She's losing the argument a little bit, huh? She's been throwing out some bad points, but at the same time, I think we've gotten past the most goofy point, which was, yeah, if you have a kid 35 and I'm 35, I shouldn't have to share my money with that kid. You should have to share me to even it out. I think that was probably the goofiest point of this whole thing.
So you're a male prostitute.
You heard what he said at the beginning. What are you talking about?
Yeah, that's my argument. Like, that's my point.
Oh, I guess.
Or a pimp, or whatever you are.
I guess so.
So you're paying for sex.
Are you?
If you say I have to share other women with you, that sounds like...
Okay.
Yeah, it's transactional then.
Okay.
You know, it's like if you pay, like, say, $5,000 per month on a kid, then I share half a woman with you. If you pay 10 grand on this kid, I share one woman with you. 20 grand, 2 women. 30 grand, 3 women. You know?
It's so interesting to me that there are probably men out there living like this, and there are probably men that listen to how Kevin Samuels talks about stuff, and they probably actually like really model their life out there. And like and there are women that are sitting there just accepting, like, oh, okay.
See, that's what I don't understand. Like, if you're a woman and you have the capacity, the ability to make a living for yourself and your kid, you know, as a single mom, and you're happy, why would you settle for a man that's delusional like that? Like, you probably be happier by yourself. Like, you know, you can just date around and fuck around. You don't have to settle with any man.
Well, I mean, that's not a happy life to end.
It's happier than the man being like, you gotta share me with other women down the street, huh? Like, no.
Yeah, neither one is really a good outcome, to be honest. It's a tough outcome.
No, I'll be happier by myself with my kid than living with a guy that's toxic and trying to, like, talk down on me all the time.
Okay.
Like, no.
Okay.
If she really feels like she's a great woman and she deserves a man that's good, but she just didn't come across a man like that, then ladies, stay single. Like, don't settle. You know, don't settle. Because it's only going to make your life like hell, because you will always feel like there's something that's offset.
Yeah. What do you guys think about that? If you're a single lady, put yourself in a single mom's shoes. Would you prefer to be the bus and block, bus around lady? Or would you prefer to share yourself with a bunch of other women? I guess share your man with a bunch of other women. Not share yourself, but yeah.
And also the man will also like feel like your kid is a liability, according to Kevin Samuels. So he won't love the kid, and he will probably always like try to start some shit. Then why would you want to be with a man like that?
Right.
And again, I don't think all men are like that, but like, you know, according to Kevin Samuels, if like the guy that you are currently seeing is one of those guys, then
I think most men are like that, to be honest. I think most men are like that. I'm going to say 64 then. Maybe 65, 35.
But another thing to think is, if you really love someone and that one happened to have a kid with a previous spouse, then think about it that way. If you really love them, you're going to spend the rest of life with that person. But the kid's not going to stay at home forever. Like, you know, the kid's going to have...
tell you how a man's going to think. He's going to be like, oh yeah, she got the kid, but as long as I can get in there and bust that out, that's what I'm going to do, and then I'm not going to stick around.
You're always thinking about like the very shady type of men. Not all men are like that.
It's just regular men. That's kind of how it is.
No, I
didn't say all men are like that. I said that's what most men are like. Like yeah. Most men aren't gonna want somebody who has a kid.
Then okay. So again, in this society where the divorce rate is so high, what's gonna happen is women will be unwilling to have babies at all, because what if we don't work out? Then I'm gonna be stuck with this baby.
It doesn't seem like anything's stopping a lot of these women. They're still having them.
I feel like if they really believe that, you know, they found the right partner and they had a baby and then things just fall out, that's one case. But it's different if they're not sure and they just like they're
That's not
pregnant,
often the case. I think a lot of women just like are just irresponsible, as well as the man is also irresponsible, and just an irresponsible mix, and blah, we have this dumb kid. That's it.
So it's lack of education from parents, like parenting.
Because
I feel like that's something that the parents should be telling the kid.
Yeah, just poor responsibility and judgment and all that kind of stuff, man. But that's it for the video. What do you guys think about that? Down in the comments below. If you watched it to this point, thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.